What it is, you know what it is. Aswand, Cruickshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking in for a daily Move Swiftly thought, giving you a perspective on teamwork that you will not get anywhere else. Let's get into this Jaden Rashada situation. Haven't actually addressed it, but it's starting to pick up a whole lot of steam. For those of you who don't know, recording this actually May 24th, 2024, and the current Georgia Bulldog quarterback, Jaden Rashada, is suing the University of Florida, I believe, for an excess of around $14 million, $13 million, something to that effect, for some promised NIL money that he didn't receive, was promised, didn't receive, yada, yada, yada. There's a lot of legal terms that come up when it comes to that, and I'm not here to necessarily pick a side. I'm not here to tell you if it's right or wrong, and I'm not qualified for that. What I can speak on and what I will be speaking on is how much this NIL transfer portal, all this shit that's going on, all the stuff I talk about in my latest book, Transfer in D1. One of the main reasons I was advised, and I took the advice of a coach of mine to say, look, get your money out of this NIL stuff, get your money out of it quick, or if you're gonna do it, be very cautious with the players, be very cautious with your NIL dealings. The constant conversation that I've had around this, okay, this shit is fucking spiraling, all right? The whole concept, the whole idea, just think about this shit from a conceptual standpoint, all right? We got a sport in college football that at one point was creating better situations for young people, all right? Was at one point was about improving the lives of young men, more in particular young African-American men, because they were able to leave their situations, leave whatever family situations that they were in, whatever rough situations that they were in, and you know, go to a college program, go to a college football program, learn discipline, learn loyalty, learn teamwork, learn how to work together with other students, and be on a campus where there's beautiful minds and insightful minds, innovative minds, things that are at the beginning of their lives. You know, the college football, the sport in general, used to be about loyalty to a university. And now the whole shit, all right, and then we're talking about just the power, you know, the Power 5 programs, the schools that everyone looks at and says, okay, they see a guy performing at that school, and that's going to be he's going to be drafted in this round. He's going to be drafted here. When they take the NFL problems and make it college football problems, this is the kind of bullshit we see. This is the kind of bullshit we see. And I'm telling you, I know for a fact, if I had to give my take on it, I can almost, again, I'm always going to be a little biased to the player. But I know for a fact, having been through the recruiting process as a player, as a coach, and as a scout, there are things that do get said by coaches that are not factual. There are fabrication, there are lies, there are things that college coaches will say, especially to a recruit at that level, that are taken they're taken out of context, and they fabricate. You know, again, they're recruiting against, it's a very aggressive industry. It's very aggressive to get a big-time quarterback like Jaden Rashada was coming out of high school. So yes, there are things that I'm sure that the Florida coach, Coach Napier, said that he may have took as, hey, he's promising me a certain amount of money. I don't think there was actual contracts being signed. I mean, again, if the young man can prove these things, hey, go about it. And yes, he deserves to get paid. But the bottom line to the situation, the issue with the situation, and it's an issue that I say over and over again, I will continue to say it. I will do whatever I can to be a part of this solution, to be a part of something in which leads to the National Football League getting to a feeder system, all right? Everything we're seeing right now, everything that we're going to see when it comes to NIL, everything that we're seeing when it comes to the transfer portal, everything that we're seeing when it comes to how college football has turned into free agency, it's all a result of the NFL not having a feeder system and using the college game as a feeder system. So eventually the NFL, like this shit that's going on with the Florida Gators and Jaden Rashada is an NFL problem. These are things that happen in pro leagues. These are things that happen when you're talking about grown men who are professional athletes and they're being paid like professional athletes, and they deserve to be paid like professional athletes. They're businesses in themselves. This is an NFL problem. And if the NFL would go to a feeder system, the college game could remain what it is meant to be, which is a pure game where a kid is going to a school because it's going to help him develop. It's going to help him develop. It's going to help him. It's going to help him when it comes to his academic stats, when it comes to picking a career outside of football, and setting up some backup plans, setting up some foundations for himself, setting up whatever it needs to be set up if the game doesn't work out, or God forbid he gets injured, God forbid something happens in which he can't play the game no more. Okay, college is supposed to be that way. College, or not even necessarily the going to the school aspect, but just the networking of it, just the foundation of it, just the fact that you're on these campuses and you're meeting other people from all walks of life and that want to get into all sorts of different things. Not, I'm going to go to this school because it's going to pay me the most money and it gives me the best chance of getting into the league and all that. Again, if you're good enough to go to the league, you're going to go to the league. If it's in God's plans for you to go to the league, you're going to go to the league. And what is happening over and over again, we see it year in and year out, and we see so much bullshit that is coming out of this, that the college game, again, is being ruined because of money. It's being ruined because of money over and over again. Again, we have kids suing the program because they were promised a certain amount of money. And then I think it got reported that Miami was in the mix. And this report, here's the kind of the caveat, the thing that got reported was the fact that, it wasn't until he transferred to Georgia, he got Kirby Smart, who's the head coach of Georgia, he got his approval before he went ahead with the lawsuit. And I'll close you out with something I heard a few takes on this situation, and I'm gonna repeat one that I actually agree with, which is here's what I hope as a fan of not only a fan of the sport, a participant of the sport, a person that has learned his business through college football and learned my mindset. So much of what I do comes from the fact that I played for 2 college football programs. All right. And I started out after college as a college scout, so I know the business very, very well. Here's what I'm hoping comes out of this whole situation. Again, it's still, we're long ways away before it even gets resolved. It could be strategy where they settle out of court. There's so many avenues it can go. But here's what I'm hoping happens is that everything gets out in the open. Everything, just everything that was promised. That hopefully there's recordings, hopefully there's texts, hopefully there's something that makes it so. Just let it all be public information so we can sit back 3-4 years down the line and say, man, look back in 2024 when so-and-so was suing this and everything is so cleaned up. Because one of the things I do talk about in the book, in the latest book, Transferring D1, which, by the way, you can get on makeyourmove.com, makeyourmove.com. Talk about how Plessy versus Ferguson, that separate but equal verdict, how that one ruling was able to create opportunities for us to grow as a society. So hopefully this lawsuit, everything is public information. Everything is public information in which we can look at it, see what happened, see where it went wrong, and we can create some sort of a strategy, some sort of a foundation, some level of rules, some rules that can be governed by everybody, and that creates the foundation and gets the college game, gets the college football game back to what it is meant to be. You already know my take. Go to a feeder system, NFL, and a lot of these problems are going to be fixed because, again, if you're going to be good enough, if you that dude, you're going to go play for a feeder team and you'll be able to prove yourself. It's not going to be, oh, shit, I balled out in college and all of a sudden I deserve a contract worth, $24-50 million because of some shit I did in college. Again, that's, in my opinion, that's not enough, in my opinion, to just translate to the pros, all right? But again, see, I'm getting long-winded again. When I get on these topics, I can go pretty long on these, all right? Anyway, as I mentioned before, main website to check out to dive deeper into all my work, makeyourmove.com. That's makeyourmove.com. It's a one-stop shop for all your teamwork and your self-development needs. Aswand, Cruickshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker checking out. You guys continue to move swiftly. We will talk more soon.